Hey, deep divers, ready to dive into the world of NLP? That's natural language processing for the uninitiated.
Decoding how computers are learning to understand us, right?
Exactly. And you guys send in a ton of cool articles and research this time. Our NLP experts here to, well, you're kind of like our decoder ring for this stuff.
I like that. Happy to help make sense of it all.
So NLP, it seems super futuristic, but it's already all around us, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. Every time you talk to Siri or Alexa or even get those smart replies in your texts, that's NLP doing its thing.
Oh, wow. I never thought of it that way.
Right. It's easy to miss how embedded it's become. But the story of NLP goes way back, actually mid-20th century. Back then, it was all about machine translation. Can we get computers to understand different languages? That was the big question.
Like a really, really early Google Translate, but clunkier.
Exactly. Ambitious, but they hit a wall pretty quickly. Turns out, human language, it's complex. All those nuances, the slang, the humor, tough to program that.
We don't even realize how much we're packing into every sentence.
For sure. So first, they tried rule-based systems. Like literally program every grammar rule into the computer.
Didn't really work, did it?
Not for long. Language just changes too fast, too many exceptions to every rule. That's when things shifted. Around the 80s, 90s, statistical NLP took over. Instead of rules, feed the computer tons and tons of text data.
Let it learn by reading the entire internet, basically.
You got it. That led to big progress. Part of speech tagging, basic sentiment analysis, all came from that.
Okay, so we went from clunky translations to teaching computers grammar to basically force-feeding them data.
And then deep learning revolutionized everything.
That's what we hear about all the time now. But what exactly is it?
Think artificial neural networks, but with layers upon layers, hence deep. Analyzing info, kind of like our brains do, just, digitally.
So instead of just seeing patterns, it's understanding the connections between things.
Exactly. That's how we get those super advanced models now, like BERT and its variants. They're trained on massive data sets, learning to understand and even generate human quality text.
This is blowing my mind already, and we're just getting started. It's wild, right?
Yeah.
From basic grammar to AI poets in just a few decades.
And it's not just incremental steps, it's a whole new level of what NLP can do.
So what is the cutting edge? What's got you excited in these papers you've been reading?
Well, the tasks NLP can handle now, they're way more complex. Not just parts of speech, we're talking generating different creative text formats, poems, even scripts.
Hold on, computers writing screenplays.
And musical pieces even. It's not just mimicking, there's a degree of actual creativity emerging.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, where's the limit?
Right. Feels like it's constantly being pushed further out.
Exactly. And context, that's key now too.
Yep.
New models, they can consider huge chunks of info, whole paragraphs, even conversations to get the real meaning.
Makes sense. Like those old chatbots, ask them something 2 sentences later, they've forgotten what you're talking about.
Yeah, frustrating. But as these models get better with context, those interactions, they'll be so much smoother, actually helpful.
So we're talking chatbots that can actually follow a conversation, get the nuance, give useful advice.
And it's not just chatbots. Imagine virtual assistants that really get you, predict what you need, personalized help.
That would be a game changer for sure.
It's about making how we talk to machines feel natural, intuitive. That's where the real potential is.
That's like NLP is about to reshape how we use tech entirely.
And that's what's exciting. It's not just algorithms, it's applying them to real problems, making life better.
You've painted a pretty rosy picture here. Any downsides we should be considering?
Of course. Powerful tech always has two sides. Misuse is a big one, obviously. Ethical guidelines, that's crucial. Making sure it's used responsibly.
Right, because it's not like the tech itself is good or bad. It's how we choose to use it.
Exactly. Steering NLP towards benefiting humanity, that takes careful thought. The potential's huge, but so are the pitfalls.
Okay, so we've got breakthroughs, potential, risks. What about right now? How are these cutting-edge NLP things being used today? Got any cool examples?
Healthcare is one area where it's really taking off.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more.
Imagine doctors, right? But they've got NLP helping analyze patient records, spotting risks, even assisting with diagnosis.
Like having an assistant who never sleeps, reads every medical journal ever.
Exactly. Cutting through the noise so doctors can focus on what matters. The patients.
That's incredible. Could totally change how healthcare works.
It has that potential, yeah. And it goes further. Personalized treatments, tailored to your genes, all thanks to NLP.
Okay, wow. That's amazing. What about other fields? Is healthcare the only one being shaken up by this?
Not at all. Finance is huge, using NLP to analyze markets, predict stock prices, even catch fraud.
So Wall Street's going to be all algorithms soon.
Well, not quite. It's more like augmenting human experts. NLP provides the insights, automates the boring stuff.
So the humans are free to, I don't know, actually think big picture.
Exactly. It's
Yeah,
collaboration, not replacement. That's key.
makes sense. So instead of replacing us, it's more like giving us superpowers.
I like that way of putting it. And it's not just those two fields. Customer service, education, even the arts are being transformed by NLP.
Wait, computers writing poetry. You're messing with me, right?
It might sound crazy, but it's true.
Computer-generated art, huh?
Yeah.
I'm going to need a minute to process that one.
It's definitely mind-bending, isn't it?
Yeah.
Makes you rethink what creativity really means. But hey, even if robots are writing poetry now, there's got to be a downside to all this, right?
Right. Like, what about jobs? If computers can analyze finance data, compose music, write reports, what happens to the people doing those jobs?
Yeah, that's a big one. And it's something we need to be thinking about now. As NLP gets more advanced, we need to be ready for the impact on the job market, figure out ways to soften the blow.
So, like retraining programs
Yeah.
for people whose skills might become obsolete.
Exactly. History shows us new tech usually means new jobs too, eventually. It's about adapting, finding those new opportunities.
Instead of fearing the robots, figure out how to work with them.
That's the idea. NLP can take over the tedious stuff, let humans focus on what we're good at, the creative thinking, the strategy, that kind of thing.
Right. It's not about replacement. It's about augmentation, like you said earlier, giving us superpowers.
Exactly. Though, of course, with great power comes, well, you know the saying, there's the potential for misuse we can't ignore.
Like, what's stopping someone from using this to spread misinformation or write really convincing phishing emails?
Important points. That's why ethical guidelines are so crucial. We need transparency, accountability, to make sure this tech is used for good.
It always comes back to us, doesn't it? The humans behind the tech.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into NLP, what's the one big takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
For me, it's the sheer transformative power of it all. NLP is already changing the world, and we're just getting started.
It's true. From healthcare to finance to art even,
Mhm.
it's revolutionizing how we live and work.
And as it keeps evolving, we'll see even more incredible applications. It's an exciting time to be paying attention to NLP, that's for sure.
It really is. This deep dive has been amazing. Thanks much for sharing your expertise.
My pleasure. Always happy to geek out about NLP.
And for all you deep divers listening, if this got your gears turning, don't stop now. There's a whole world of NLP out there to explore.
The future of how we communicate, how we work, it's being shaped by this tech. The more we understand it, the better equipped we'll be to guide it in the right direction.
That's a great point to end on. Until next time, deep divers, keep those brains buzzing.